Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since the last video or tutorial, but since you guys have been asking for one lately, I decided to do a tutorial on how to do my challenge system that I've put in all of my maps that originated from my mini battle royale island, Inaba. So first I want to explain how the challenge system works and what it is before we actually get onto the tutorial. Every single round you'll be given a unique set of challenges, up to 3, and you will have one location challenge, one misc challenge, and one elimination challenge. You can obviously change this yourself. You don't have to do that if you would not like to, but for efficiency reasons, I have my challenges set up into different categories each round. So as you can see, one of my challenges was location-based to visit wooded wells, which I just did. My second challenge here, you can see, is harvest objects for materials. Now, this challenge, I just need to break things, so that's going to be going into buildings, breaking objects, and it will trigger the challenge progression. And you can just break pretty much anything and it will count. And these challenges, when you complete them, will give you a reward for completion in the form of either XP, gold, materials, whatever it is, depending on your game. With Inaba, it's going to be XP and gold, because that is what the game is focused around. And it will obviously be different for whatever your game is. After all, I don't know what your game is, so I can't really help you with that. But you can set up the rewards yourselves if you would like to. You can obviously do gold if you would like to. It depends on whatever game mode you're doing. As you can see, all I need to do is break this. And I completed a challenge, I got some gold as a reward, and it gave me some test mode XP as a completion reward. So I will see you guys in the tutorial. Alright, so here we are back on my asset storage island. This is where we do most of my tutorials, like my chest system tutorial, which if you would like to see, we did a while back on the channel, which was also related to my BR island. So let's get on with the tutorial. So the first device, by far the most important, would be the tracker. However, we're going to move on to that in a moment, because you're going to need a way to grant players your challenges. You can do it through spawn pads, however my preferred way to do this is with the save device. So if you get the save point, which I mean we all call a save device, let's be real. What you're going to want to do is, let me just check what channels I have available real quick. Yeah, I got plenty. Let's start with channel 300 and up. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go just down. None of this is going to matter, really. You can obviously set up these settings yourself. I'm going to have this on player loaded. This is basically when a player just joins the game immediately. It will load their save data, even if they have none. This should work. And I'm just going to go channel 300. And that's going to trigger everything. So now let's move on with the challenges. So we are going to get a random number generator. This is going to be the most important device other than trackers, because this is going to be the way you're going to be triggering your challenges. So I'm going to set this to grid snap 2 for efficiency reasons, and I'm going to be placing it, let's see, I'd say over here is a good spot for this. So what you're going to want to do is your value limit 2 is going to be how many different types of challenges you like. So, for example, I'm going to be choosing, let's make 8 challenges for this tutorial. And the winning value, I'm going to say, is 8 as well. That's just what I have it set to. Doesn't really matter because we're not going to be using that setting. But the most important thing is roll time needs to be instant. And you also need to pick each number once as no, because your challenges need to be completely random every time, and you need to have a zone. It's going to be facing that direction. I don't want it facing that direction, so if I let it face back, wherever back is, backwards, there we go. We want it to be facing this direction. So pick it up, place it again so that you get the correct grid inside your volume here, and you're going to be triggering this on 300. Now, this is where you're going to set up all your challenge mechanics. So we're going to need some triggers first. And your triggers are going to be the most important part. Now, what you're going to want to do is, we're just going to place that trigger there and we're going to come back to it in a moment. Because we're also going to need the tracker now. So, the tracker, you're going to want to reset your progress. So, we're just going to quickly find the reset progress setting. This is just a backup system that you're going to want to have, because it may cause, if you run into any issues, this should fix them. Reset progress on 300. You want to reset all challenge progress every time you join the game, if you're going to be using my challenge system. So that is the most important section. Right. So now that we got that set up, let's set out our triggers. Now, we're going to, let's say, so we're going to be triggering this one with the volume. All of these are going to be triggered with the volume, so you don't need to do trigger when receiving from. But we're going to be doing transmit on 301, because that's going to be the next channel we're going to be using. The most important thing is triggered by sequences. Make sure this is on. It needs to be on. So if this is triggered, we're going to go up to our tracker here, and we are going to assign to the player on 301. 301 creative, 301. There we go. Alright, we love creative mode. Alright, so now that we got that set up correctly, we're going to need to set up a when complete setting. So I'm going to do 299 for this, because this is going to be whatever channel you like, because this isn't related to the main mechanics, but this is going to set up to your accolade. If you would like some challenge XP for completing a challenge, like with the accolade device, we're just going to say hi, because I don't know what you're going to call your accolade. So I'm just going to say hi, and we're going to have it go to large. It doesn't really matter. All you're going to want is just have award this on 299. And every single tracker needs to have the exact same award when receiving from, because every challenge you're going to want to give the same XP. Unless you don't. If you want to have some harder challenges, give some more XP, you can do that. That's entirely up to you. But let's actually do our challenge now. So we want our first challenge to be, let's say, get 2 eliminations with an assault rifle. So your starting value will be 0 and your target value will be 2. Reset between rounds? I would say yes, just keep it there for security, I suppose. Make sure everything is fine and working. Valid team needs to be any. Assign on game start, yes. No. Do not assign on game start and do not assign on joining in progress. Have these both set to no. Because otherwise every single challenge will be granted to players all the time. So you need to have both of these set to no, because you're only granting them on the trigger. So progress sharing, make sure that's individual. Target team and class does not matter. Weapon category, now since we're doing assault rifle eliminations, there's a 4 damage category? Since when? Rifle is going to be your category here. Targets reached, complete tracker. The winning team does not matter because, you know, we're really completing the tracker. We're not ending the round. So once you have set that up, show on HUD. You're going to want to have detailed. Or list, it really depends on if you want a progress bar with your tracker or not. Progress bars are with list. Detailed is with digits. We're going to be using detailed because that is the way I decided to do my challenge appearance. So my tracker title is going to say challenge. That way players know that this is a challenge that you have assigned to them. And the description text will be something like eliminate players with an assault rifle. And the progress indicator you're going to want to be total. And after that, self-eliminations count no, player eliminations count yes. But here's the thing, do you want non-player eliminations to account? This is going to stand for wildlife, zombies, henchmen, all of these will count to this. So for example, I am going to set this to no because this is meant to be specifically players. And you do not want this to save or auto-load, because these challenges are going to be assigned once per game. Once you've done that, you're going to set up your quest icon. So mine is going to be a assault rifle because that's the challenge. And we're going to color it something like a pinkish red kind of color. Because that is going to be a kind of... we can use that to color code our challenges for eliminations, for example. And that is going to be our first challenge done. It's often helpful to name your trackers, so I'm going to call it Tracker AR Elims, because that is a good way for me to know what challenge it is if I need to edit a broken challenge. So channel-related challenges are going to be anything that you can possibly think of. So, for example, I use this for emote at different Goblin Patch posters or visit locations. If you want to do location-based challenges, what you're going to want to do is set your target value to 1, and what you're going to do now is visit location. I'm just setting it to location there because that would be whatever you would want to call it. You could do this with emotes. This is anything. Use channel for any challenge you want. If it's not a default preset setting, you're going to want to do it with channel. So, for example, what I'm going to do with this is it's a location one. So let's just, I don't know, let's choose like a plane, for example. And I'm going to make it green. And this one, we're going to increment progress on 305. And that's going to be important. We're going to assign this on 304 as well. I realized I didn't set up a trigger for this one, so we're going to set that up now. 304. And that's all we need to do. So what we need to do now is just set this to location. And to complete this challenge, you're going to want to set up something like a mutator zone. I'm going to make a visible mutator, and I'm going to set it up right here. So let's make this mutator visible in-game, because we want it to be visible. Doesn't matter on any of the other settings at the moment, because we're not actually making a game. But you're going to want when entering zone 305. And that's it. So now when you enter that zone, it'll trigger 305, and if you have this challenge, it will complete it for you. That is basically how you do channel-related challenges like location or emote. So I'm going to complete the rest of these challenges off camera, and once I've done that, I will show you the system in action. Okay, so I have gone and completed the rest of the challenges, and as you can see, I've placed down an IO guard spawner here. I'm going to quickly set these to a spawn timer of instant, because I've got one of the challenges to eliminate henchmen. Now, for this challenge, I also need to correct a setting that I made as a mistake, which is non-player eliminations count. There we go. So, what you're going to want to do for multiple challenges, which is going to be our next topic, is going to be, quite literally, just place two extra RNG zones. And it will trigger all three. All three will trigger different challenges. However, the one flaw with this system is to the fact that you'll get potentially the same challenge rolled twice. So you may only get one or two challenges per round, because you may trigger the same challenge twice, which is the whole reason I organized my challenges into categories with Inaba. That way you always get 3. That's not too difficult to do, so you guys can do that if you would like to. You go to your UI. You're going to want to set max trackers on HUD to 3. That is the max you can have, and that will display 3 different trackers on our HUD now. So if we restart the game, as you can see, we'll get 3 different challenges, hopefully. Oh, they all rolled onto the same one. That is something I explained could happen. So if we end the game again, and we start again, we will get another roll of fresh challenges, which you will see in just a moment. There you go, we got 3 challenges. So we got to eliminate players with a shotgun, which we can't complete because we don't have any other players. However, we got search chests again. So as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We completed a challenge, and we got XP for doing that. As you can see, we got our little high accolade set up. Now, if I kill the IO guard, just this one, as you can see, it did not trigger my shotgun thing. Well, A, I didn't kill him with a shotgun. And B, well, I mean, you know, as an IO guard, it wouldn't count. But you see, visit location, I can just go into this volume, and it will complete the challenge, because we set that one up as a channel. And that is pretty much how the entire challenge system will work. We also got a present from these chests, so if I place that down, let's see what we get. We got a shotgun. So as you can see, if I kill an IO guard with the shotgun, it's not going to count because he's not a player, so he will not update the eliminate players with a shotgun challenge. But that is basically the challenge system set up in a nutshell. And that is how it works. Now, I'll show you how to set up other rewards with your channels. So, if you remember, we have an accolade here, that will trigger on 299 every single time. So if you wanted to grant players gold, for example, just get an item granter, like so. You're just going to place it down, you're going to go into your inventory, you're going to go to your consumables, you're going to grab some gold, wherever the gold is, there it is. You're going to drop some gold in. Let's say you wanted to give 20 gold for completing a challenge, which is the Inaba amount. Just drop it into the item granter, like so. And you're going to set this to triggering player, have it keep all. You're going to only grant the current item, you're always going to grant it. Do not drop items at player location, because otherwise people will be able to pick up each other's rewards. And you're going to grant the item to the player on 299, the same channel with the Accolade XP. So if I go back and test those challenges again, let's see what we get. As you can see, we have eliminate players with an assault rifle, visit location, and survive for 1 minute this round. If we go over here, as you can see, we are given 20 gold to our inventory, because we completed a challenge. So that is pretty much the entire challenge system. I told you guys it wasn't that complicated. So hopefully you guys can set up your own challenge system now in your own Battle Royale maps or your own islands. I'm hoping this tutorial helped you. If it didn't, then I don't know what else to tell you. Just leave a comment and I'll try and explain anything the best I can to you all. But thank you all so much for watching. That is basically the tutorial system in a nutshell. Of course, you can expand on it and do a lot more complicated things than I did. That is entirely up to you. I'm just trying to do the most simplified version for all of you. If you want to support me in the item shop, use my code, which is tact. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.